Hey everyone, it's Jack the Jobber from WhatCulture.com. What is better than up-to-date breaking news? That's right, news done once a week, summarised in a quick sort of format, but not as quick as other news, but still kind of easily digestible. All the news from here in the wrestling world, both WWE and elsewhere. You're familiar with the concept. It's episode 60 whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh God. This is the fast count. Taking a bit out of myself there. What is the best intro I've ever done?
That one.
First of all, we have some news concerning the lunatic fringe, Dean Ambrose. Dean told UK newspaper and reviled tabloid The Sun that he would take a UFC fight if he was paid $500,000, $500,000. Now this is kind of interesting, I suppose. I can't really see it happening ever, but then CM Punk did, so never say never, I guess. But I imagine Dean Ambrose trying to fight an MMA fight like he tries to wrestle a wrestling match, kind of ragged, swinging everywhere. But I do have a quote from the Sun's article, because it's always quite funny when mainstream news sources cover wrestling and get everything wrong. It says, the Intercontinental Champion, that's right, has been a huge star since his move to Monday Night Raw. Few months ago. I'd argue that Dean Ambrose was a bigger star when he was a member of the Shield, or maybe just before the brand split, when he won the WWE Championship for the first time. But, you know, who am I to challenge the journalistic integrity of the Sun newspaper? Some sad news now, especially for fans of DIY, particularly Tommaso Ciampa. The tag team star and former NXT tag team champion was injured at a recent NXT house show. He walked to the back but apparently was limping quite horribly and quickly. The match had to get called off. The referee threw up the X. He is injured, and this most likely will alter the card for this weekend's NXT TakeOver Chicago show. Now this is particularly disappointing because Ciampa was part of the match that many people, including myself, were most looking forward to on the whole show. DIY versus the Authors of Pain in a ladder match. What are they going to do now? Are they going to call off the match? Are they going to bring in a new partner for Johnny Gargano? One suggestion that has been floated around a lot on the internet, and which I quite like, is that Gargano should be paired with Scott Dawson of The Revival. Obviously at the last TakeOver special we saw The Revival and DIY have a kind of uneasy alliance during their kind of triple threat tag team match with the Authors of Pain. And I know it's a cliche, but I just love the uneasy tag champions scenario. I was a fan of Cena and Otunga. I like Dreamer and Raven in ACW. And the next part of that lineage is clearly Johnny Gargano and Scott Dawson. It just makes sense, and I really genuinely hope they do it. I hope so. I can't think of anyone else who could fill the gap, really. Unless it's Candice, they get his wife in. But no, it should... Oh, that would be cool as well. Okay, this is kind of gossip news, and I'm not really one for... I've done boring legal news before when we've done the boring legal news klaxon. Can we get a gossip news graphic? Thank you. Time for some gossip news now. I feel like I'm the sort of working for Heat magazine, or one of those, or Teen Tiger Beat. That's a thing. So Melina, my personal friend Melina, tweeted some thoughts about Sasha Banks losing to Alicia Fox. Melina said this was good. It told the story, at least in her interpretation, of a cocky babyface underestimating her opponent and getting beat as a result. And it adds a lot of intrigue to what would otherwise have been a nothing match. Fair points, Melina, you might say, not just because she's really nice and I love her. Then Lana liked a few of Melina's tweets in agreement, it seemed, and then she got a lot of heat for that. People were saying, oh, Lana, you're just trying to bury Sasha Banks. People misconstrued this a lot. Then, if I need my script to follow this, I'm sorry. Then Lana was like, yeah, Lana tweeted defending herself, saying, no, I didn't mean it like that. And then after she did that, both Sasha Banks and Summer Rae tweeted hashtag BL 2017, which people are assuming stands for Block Lana 2017. Why would Sasha have a problem with Lana agreeing with Melina that it was an interesting... It's just a lot much ado about nothing, I think. And maybe it's just one of those things where there's already heat existing there already, and they're just using any excuse to kind of go at each other online. But I think we can all agree that the innocent party in all of this is Melina. That's right. Now it's time for all the wacky news from elsewhere in the world of wrestling, but this one's This one's really weird. There's some huge news and I'm about to get into it right now. So you will have heard probably by now that 5 Star Wrestling, a promotion over here in the UK, has offered $1 million to CM Punk to return to the wrestling ring. A lot of people saw clickbaity headlines online and saw that British Wrestling Company offers CM Punk $1 million. They assumed it was us. They thought it was WhatCulture Pro Wrestling. It's not. I can guarantee it's 5 Star Wrestling. They are the first promotion I was ever backstage at a show at, so I've actually met the guy who's offering CM Punk $1 million. It's all surreal to me, this, because that show, it was like a year and a half ago now in January, 5 Star Wrestling in Newcastle, and it was bizarre. Like, it's the first time I'd been around wrestlers, planning matches and stuff. It was the first time I met Susie. It was the first time I met Ollie Sandler, the photographer who takes photos during WCPW event. And then now they've offered CM Punk, the owner or the promoter has offered CM Punk $1 million, and it's like, it's very, I don't know what to say really. Is it a publicity stunt? Is it, I could probably just ask him. I've got a few people who know him, but I don't want to do that because he'd probably tell me to f off. Do you think Punk will return to the ring? I have to say I don't yet, but I think he might do. But if he ever was to, I think it would have to be for Ring of Honor or New Japan. Probably Ring of Honor. It's like his home. I don't think it'll be for any of us over here, any of the UK promotions, as fast growing as the scene is over here. I think Punk would want to return in the States. Watch me get proven wrong next week when it's like, CM Punk signs for 5 Star, part of their 128-man tournament. And it's funny how they had a tournament when we announced our tournament, but theirs is better, I think, because there's more wrestlers in it. That's how it works, isn't it? I think that's how it f***ing works, lads. Shut up with your pool balls. The best of the Super Juniors is well underway this week. We've seen the first 2 events. If you didn't hear that, they're playing pool outside, even though we explicitly asked them not to because we're recording in here. I'll get no respect around here. Marty Scurll, now representing the Bullet Club, had a fantastic showing against Will Ospreay on the first night. And then on the second night, Will Ospreay had a match of the year candidate worthy match, I'm going to say, against Ricochet, his old foe. It's possibly the best match the pair have had. The other contenders being, of course, their match last year, which sparked all the debate about flips in wrestling, and their match in WCPW where they broke the top rope, and it was all kind of novel and unique because how are they going to do it without top rope, and then they did. But I think this match is probably the best one they've ever had together. It was unbelievably, some of the spots they were pulling off were like, the degree of difficulty was unreal, and there were a few little slip-ups mainly from Ricochet, but they really put on a fantastic match. Who do you think will win the best of the Super Juniors? I don't know. There's a few candidates, I'll run through them now. Ospreay could be a 2-time winner, back-to-back if he wins. Scurll is a front-runner because he's now affiliated with Bullet Club, of course. Takashi's the champion, and champions don't normally win, but he's so good and on such a roll that I think he might. Kushida might win in order to get revenge on Taka. There's just a lot of people who could, but as basically the news story here is the tournament has started and it's bloody darn impressive so far. And finally, one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, Io Shirai, has confirmed that she will sign with WWE. There's been a lot of stories over the past few weeks that I haven't reported on because it's been flopping back and forwards whether Io Shirai will sign for WWE. She's a huge Japanese women's wrestling star over in Stardom, their top women's promotion, and recently their other big main event star, Kairi Hojo, did sign for WWE, and everyone thought, well, it's only a matter of time until Io Shirai does. Then it was off the table, now it's back on, and it looks as though she is going to sign and should hopefully be part of that big women's tournament coming up later on this year. In slightly related news, that other wrestler that I was talking about, Hojo, she's been told to stop using her finisher, which is an amazing elbow drop, possibly the best in the business right now. She's been told to change that reportedly because it's already Bayley's move. I'm quite sad because her elbow drop, if you find like a gif of it or something online, it is unbelievable. And now it's time, and I don't have a clue what this graphic's going to do, but it's time for the Wrestler of the Week.
I'm Plumpy from
That's more like it.
Now for the whole of this week, or for the majority of this week, since pretty much last Friday, yeah, last Friday night, after we'd done Fast Count in the daytime, Marty Scurll joined Bullet Club. It was a great angle. Later on this week, Marty Scurll had a great match with Ospreay, best of the Super Juniors night 1, and I thought, Marty Scurll's obviously going to be my Wrestler of the Week, lads. Don't be silly. No one's going to creep up and snatch that away from Marty. He's done so well. Well, it turns out It's actually Will Ospreay, and both men are horrible men and are horrible to me backstage at shows. We've had interactions. But Ospreay this week has been untouchable. Like, he had that great match with Marty, which at first made me think Marty's wrestler of the week. But then he had an unbelievable match with Ricochet. And just having two such good matches in 2 days, basically, has made me think that I can't choose Marty because... And Marty had a match with Adam Cole as well, like Adam Cole's send-off, but that was more of an Adam Cole moment, not a Marty Scurll moment. And as exciting as Marty's angle is, joining the Bullet Club, what Ospreay did against Ricochet is really possibly groundbreaking, and had a great match with Scurll as well. It's the closest race we've had so far on Wrestler of the Week, but I've got to give it to Ospreay, and I'm really sorry, Marty. He's probably deserved. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that Marty should be Wrestler of the Week, or do you agree with my assessment that it's Will Ospreay, or do you think that it's someone completely different? Dragon Lee's had a good few performances. Takahashi's had some great performances as well. Jushin Thunder Liger had a great match as well. A lot of New Japan guys have been pushing for Wrestler of the Week this week, but I had to give it to my old foe, Will Ospreay, my old foe, as if I'm like one of his major rivals or anything. No. Also, let us know in the comments who you think Will Ospreay's biggest rival is. Is it Marty Scurll, Ricochet, Jack the Jobber? I've been Jack from WhatCulture.com. Thank you very much for watching this episode of the Fast Count. It has been quite a bumper edition in terms of big news. I think you'll agree. Not the CM Punk stuff. I mean Melina's tweets and stuff like that, and all the heat on Lana. See you soon.